Have you ever found yourself in a room filled with people, yet it's the silence that makes you feel the most uneasy? You're not alone in this discomfort. For many, silence can feel like a heavy weight, an uninvited guest that settles in the corners of our conversations. But why is it that some of us struggle with quiet moments more than others? Today, we're going to explore this intriguing phenomenon and uncover the reasons why silence can bring about discomfort. To begin, let's consider the role of silence in our communication. In a world saturated with constant chatter and noise, we've come to equate silence with awkwardness. Think about those moments when a conversation starts to dwindle, and suddenly, there's an expansive gap where words should flow. It can feel like a chasm that needs to be filled. In many social situations, we often feel the urge to reach for a phrase, any phrase, to eliminate that uncomfortable void. This reaction stems from the pressure to maintain a certain social rhythm or to avoid the perceived tension that silence builds. For instance, at a dinner party, if a lull in conversation occurs, one might feel compelled to change the subject, even if the previous topic was just fine. This instinct to fill the silence can highlight our discomfort with pausing and reflecting, a natural human tendency that often goes overlooked. Now, let's dive deeper into the psychological aspect. Silence can trigger feelings of vulnerability. When we are quiet, we may worry that others are judging us or thinking poorly of us. This can be particularly true in settings where social status is at play, such as job interviews or first dates. Imagine sitting across from someone, trying to impress them, and suddenly there's a moment where both of you fall silent. Your mind races as you ponder. What are they thinking? Do they find me boring? Here, the silence morphs into a source of anxiety. It feels like an empty canvas, and we often fear what others might paint on it, rather than appreciating the beauty that can exist within that stillness. Another reason silence may be uncomfortable for some is its association with introspection. When the world around us quiets down, we are often left alone with our thoughts. This can be a double-edged sword. For some, this introspection is enlightening and healing. For others, however, it can lead to anxiety or an overwhelming flood of emotions. Picture a time when you were alone in a quiet room, perhaps after a long day. Suddenly, your mind begins to replay events, worries, or unresolved issues. The silence no longer feels peaceful. It becomes a breeding ground for self-doubt and regret. This internal struggle can make silence feel oppressive rather than liberating. Furthermore, cultural factors also play a significant role in how we perceive silence. In some cultures, silence is valued and respected, a space for contemplation and connection. In others, it may be viewed as a lack of engagement or even disrespect. For example, in many Western contexts, silence during discussions can signal discomfort or uncertainty. Conversely, in many Asian cultures, pauses are often seen as a sign of respect, allowing individuals time to consider their responses thoughtfully. These differing views highlight how our cultural backgrounds shape our emotional responses to quiet moments. Lastly, consider the impact of technology on our relationship with silence. In today's digital age, we are constantly bombarded with notifications, messages, and noise. The moment we find ourselves in silence, we're often tempted to reach for our phones, substituting the quiet with the buzz of social media or the latest news. This addiction to stimulation can make genuine silence feel foreign and uncomfortable. Imagine a scenario where you're waiting for someone in a cafe. Instead of embracing the moment, you instinctively scroll through your social media feeds. This behavior illustrates how our reliance on constant connectivity can deepen our discomfort with stillness. So, as we reflect on these various dimensions, social expectations, psychological vulnerability, cultural influences, and technological distractions, we can see that silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is a complex phenomenon that can evoke a range of emotions, from anxiety to reflection. In closing, we've explored the many reasons why silence can make some individuals uncomfortable. We've seen how social pressures, internal dialogues, cultural backgrounds, and our tech-driven lives shape our experiences with quiet moments. The next time you find yourself in a lull, take a moment to breathe and embrace the silence, perhaps even finding peace within it. How do you feel about silence? Is it a sanctuary or a source of discomfort for you? Let me know in the comments below.